Hi there, guys.
Hello.
It's me and the wife. So today is the 23rd of September 2018. It's Sunday afternoon, and I have just been for an MRI scan on my head. Go on, say it.
Yes,
I know you're dying to.
We needed to check if there was a brain, and I did ask the man, and he said yes, they found one.
Did you ask him?
Yeah.
You cheeky bugger. I'm not talking to you now.
Talk to our friends then.
Right. Okay. So the whole point to this video is I thought I'd do the procedure of an MRI scan, because in case there's anybody out there that's about to go for a head MRI scan and they're a bit panicky about it, this video may just help them. I'm sure that a lot of my MS friends already know the procedure for an MRI scan, but I'm going to go through it anyway. So we arrived at hospital for a 2:30 appointment this afternoon. We were shown into the MRI suite. Actually, I was being pushed in a chair. It's a bit crazy, really. There's on my letter it said MRI suite, so we headed to the MRI suite.
And it was wrong.
And it was wrong because I'd changed the appointment, and they didn't tell me it was now in the normal X-ray department, which also has MRI scanners. Anyway, some nice kind nurse pushed me in the chair and pushed it all the way back, didn't they? So
yeah, there wasn't a cliff handy.
yeah. I'm going to ignore that comment from my good wife. In case you didn't hear what she said there wasn't a cliff handy.
You know I love you.
She loves me, really.
Yeah.
It's a good job, really. So, when I got there, I only sat for a few minutes. I was having a scan with contrast. So, I had to get changed into like a gown. Well, no, it wasn't a gown. It was just like trousers.
Theatre staff.
It was like, I looked like a surgeon.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't take a photo, actually.
Oh, I didn't think.
Sorry, too late now. Had to have a cannula put in my arm so they could, for the purpose of putting in the contrast later. Had to fill in a questionnaire. Mind you, I did that at home, saying I've got no metal in my body, no medical patches on, no stents, no operations in the last 8 weeks, that sort of thing. So I went into the MRI sort of suite room thing, got shown onto the scanner, and I was quite worried because the last scan I had was a scan on a mobile lorry, and whereas this one wasn't. This was at the hospital, and I soon realised as soon as I went into the scan room that the scanner was of much better quality, a lot bigger. And once I'd actually got onto the scanner, it was considerably more comfortable, actually, for an MRI scanner. I get I get an awful lot of pain in my lower back, but mostly in my left leg. My left leg, like, really hurts a lot. Hang on, need a drink. It's my first drink today. It's how I have to deal with MS bladder issues, I'm afraid, which I haven't gone into in videos, but there we go. I might do one day. So I lay down on the scanner and I explained to the lady that I got a lot of back pain, a lot of leg pain in my left leg, and we tried various things under my legs to try and help, but I just went with one of these small little chocks which just sits under my legs, and it was okay, to be honest. And I managed to cope with it okay. She told me that about 15 minutes into the scan will be about 20-30 minutes long, and about sort of halfway into the scan she'll stop the scanner, come back in, and she'll put the dye in into my cannula, and which is what she did. So we get, before you sort of go into the scanner, you get like those little foam earplugs, and just sort of pop them in your ears, but they're not great. But then over the top of them you get this bloody great big pair of ear defenders, because the scanners are very noisy, with lots of like buzzing, crackles and strange sound sound effects. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what made my scan really good, because when I'm in there, you lose all concept of time, and of course I'm in pain, my leg's hurting, my back's aching a bit, but I managed to cope with it okay. I just kept moving my leg about a little bit, and I managed to deal with it okay. But what really helped was I had a nice lady as a radiologist, and she was very good, because in between the scans I'd hear over the headphones she'd say, she's starting the scan now. So and then halfway through she'd say, you know, just got a couple more scans left after I had the dye injection, and about 8 minutes left. So she was keeping me posted all the way through it, to be honest, because when you're in pain and you can't move, it's really difficult to stay still, especially as in as much pain as I quite often am with my leg. My back actually wasn't too bad, it was just a bit of a dull ache, but my leg was mega painful. Certainly in a scan I had a few weeks ago, but this time wasn't too bad. So
No.
yes, and I do have a brain, thank you. I just wanted to add a little bit about being inside the scanner, because one of the things MRI scanners are notorious for they are quite claustrophobic, and that's a very serious thing for people that do not like tight spaces, and I get that, I really do. So I'm going to just explain it as it is, as how I found it. Because it was an MRI scan of my head, my brain.
Yeah.
They do put, you're sort of lying down, like your head on a bit of a cushion, and they do put a little bit of a mask on. Now don't get all panicky. You don't feel like you're secured down or anything like that, and there's a big open gap, and there's like a prism mirror as well, and you can look into the prism mirror and you can see out into the room. So it didn't panic me at all, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of tight spaces either. I'm not really claustrophobic, but they're not. I don't like them either, really. You know, I prefer not to be in a tight space. So then when you sort of go into the scanner, it's a big cylindrical space. It's certainly bigger than the one I had on the lorry. That is for sure, definitely. Because when I went into the scanner on the lorry, I thought, oh, blimmin' heck, this is a bit
cozy.
A bit cozy. and I'm only a small frame anyway, and like, you know, for a person that's perhaps a little bit bigger than myself, it would be very cozy. So that wasn't so nice, the one on the lorry, but certainly the one at the hospital. I didn't feel hemmed in. I didn't feel claustrophobic at all. I felt absolutely fine. I didn't feel panicky at all. And by the way, they always give you like a little button thing to hold. You know, it's like a panic button, and if you have a bit of a panic, you just press the button, the scanner aborts, you come out, and you have a bit of a breather, and they can continue afterwards. So it's really, I found it okay. So, you know, I know that perhaps somebody else who is more claustrophobic might panic, but I hope this, you know, my description of it leads to some way
alleviating the fears.
To try and calm your nerves a little bit, because if you've never had one before, it can be a little bit disconcerting and quite worrying. But honestly, that was actually my 10th MRI scan. I've been counting since 2012. That was my 10th. So I am quite used to them. And I always remember on my first scan, I was very panicky until I was actually in the scanner, and I just calmed right down. I was absolutely fine, and I'm pretty sure you will be as well.
Can I just add something that I find hilarious?
It looks like she's going to anyway.
It was so funny.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to have a coffee.
Okay.
Drink of coffee.
Well, Neil had to go in this changing cubicle to get changed into his gear.
I don't know what she's going to say yet.
And he had to sit on this little slatted
I do
bench.
now.
And I keep teasing him about the weight he's lost. And his bum was so small, he was falling between the lads.
I don't think that quite came out. Falling between what?
The slats. Your little bum was falling between.
There was this bench, and there was like 2 inch. There was like a slat across, then about 2 inch gap, and then another slat across, and about 2. And I sat on it, and I almost fell between them.
Oh, I just had to laugh. Sorry, darling, but it was really funny.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, I just shared that with millions of people.
And not if I edit it out. You haven't.
No.
I might edit that out. Yeah. So okay. So the MRI scan was okay. I had to, once it was over, I actually got quite comfortable. Once it was over, I just sort of had to wait outside in the waiting room. Well, sort of waiting room inside the MRI suite. You're not allowed in that bit, are you? But
No.
I had to stay there 15-20 minutes because I'd had the contrast, which makes the images clearer of your brain, apparently. And to make sure that I don't have a reaction to the contrast, but I didn't. So, and I've had it before and I didn't. So that was that, really. Yeah, so this video is for anybody that is about to have an MRI scan of their head and is a little bit worried about it. Please feel free to ask me any questions, and I always answer everybody. But it's also to the rest of you guys on my channel who are following me and giving me lots of wonderful support, which I thank you very, very much. You really do know who you are.
Yeah, you got a great support system going there.
Definitely have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really, really appreciate it. I've almost finished answering the comments to my last video. I've been doing a lot of research about Tysabri and worrying quite a bit, actually. And I've made a decision today. I've decided that I had an agreement with my neurologist, and she basically said to me, if you do have the JC virus, I'll be having Ocrevus. If I do not have the JC virus, I'll have Tysabri. So, and I understand by research and a lot of your comments that you can have like a titration of the JC virus. I understand that to be like the strength it is kind of residing in your body. So even if I've got a small titrate of the JC virus, I'm still gonna sort of say I don't want Tysabri, I want Ocrevus. So that is the decision I've reached after much research and much consideration. So I now believe that's it for this one, because we've just gone over 10 minutes. Look.
Yes, dear.
Quick video today, guys. iPhone video. Just a quick upload. Not editing it on the PC today. I haven't got time. Plus, I'm absolutely shattered as well. So we're going to go and get some tea on.
Yes.
And have a relaxing evening, hopefully.
Yes.
Especially as I've got a brain.
I know.
Yeah.
Wonders will never cease.
I actually thought about asking the radiologist about how do I go about getting my own scan images. You must be able to do that.
I don't know.
I consider that. Righto. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Until next time. Ta-ta.
See ya.